Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. Right in my hands is Mixed Up, a really interesting graphic novel. It's written by Garcia, art by Brittney Williams, and lettering by Tyler Smith. And the story is about this young girl, Stella, who goes into 5th grade. She thinks it's going to be an awesome year. She's got the teacher she wants. She's in her class with her best friends who are sitting next to her. Everything's going right. The game that she's really, or the TV show she's really into is getting a video game, and there's like a book tie-in for the video game. Like, everything's awesome. Except she's having a lot of trouble reading. She's fallen behind. Things take a really long time, and she prefers not to read and to do other things and experience other sort of books and experiences of that sort. And we find out the reason why is because she's dyslexic. It's an interesting graphic novel in that the point of it isn't the dyslexia. It's not one there. It has some good information about dyslexia. There's some great links in the back and, other things you can go to. To me, it's not one to really educate on dyslexia. It's more about Stella's embarrassment of being diagnosed with it and her not being able to confide in her friends while kind of going through that initial steps in diagnosis. And even like treatment, some of the initial treatment. To me, that's really the heart of the graphic novel, and I actually think it's really good and interesting, and more universal that way. It's a good story. Like, I think it's entertaining for as an adult. I thought it was good. It's not one I'm gonna sit there and say, hey, adults, you really need to check it out. I really think it's great for kids. Especially kids who might be going through something that are having trouble maybe confiding in friends about or slightly embarrassed about. To me, I think that's the bigger aspect of it, in that it really does show it's okay to tell your friends, and actually it's a good thing to go tell your friends because they're your friends. They're there to support you. They're there to help you. And I think that's a great lesson that comes out of it. So to me, it's not so much like a graphic novel that I might give to a kid who's having reading issues or, has been diagnosed with dyslexia. Like, that to me is not the point of it. It's a much broader universe. Like, it's one of those things, like when I was 13 and diagnosed with Crohn's, I think I told people, but I knew a lot of people with it, so it wasn't something I necessarily hid. But, if I didn't have people around me who I knew also had it, like, I might have had a similar experience as Stella, and this would have been, I think, a really great graphic novel to give me to say it's okay to tell people, because they need to know, and they really need to know what's up, and you shouldn't pull away from folks on that sort of stuff. Like, it is okay to let people in and know you're struggling or you're having issues and what those issues are, and they're there to help you, and I think that's actually a really solid lesson for kids. So, like, while the story in graphic novels about someone who discovers that they have dyslexia, to me it is a much broader, bigger picture. Like, it's not there to necessarily educate just about dyslexia. It doesn't go into like very heavy detail of it. It just emphasizes, when it comes to that, is that everyone experiences it differently, and kind of what it is. That to me is the big takeaways off of it. But as far as specifically dyslexia, like but it's really more about kids struggling with something and not being able to feel comfortable enough to tell their friends. She clearly, her teachers know, other people in the school know that are helping her. So it's not that, it's literally just focused on her and her relationship with her friends. Art is good. I think it's one that's more geared towards kids. There's a lot of good small details that give you an idea about what they like in their world, and I actually really enjoy the small details of it, especially their obsession with this thing called Witchlins, which is like a TV show that becomes a video game, and clearly stuff something they really, really enjoy. And then there's a comic book within that I think the art's actually really cool, because it's a comic within the comic done by one of the kids. Like, it's some solid art. I think it's nothing that's going to blow me away to sit in there and be like, oh my god, it's like the greatest art. But it's really good for this particular story, and I think kids will enjoy it, and I think also kids will appreciate the small details of it too. But overall, like, I think it's a good read. I think there's good lessons to be had, and I think it goes beyond kids with dyslexia. I think it's any kid that's struggling with, anything that might have some issues confiding in their friends about it. Hopefully it gets them to understand it's okay to do that, and let people know what's up. There's also a little bit of extras in the back. There's some stuff from the actual creators, about the creation of this, but also some design stuff like these 2 pages, which is I always think are really cool. Actually, it's I think the only design things in here. So yeah, as I said, there's also notes about dyslexia as a whole and some good information about it. So for those who might need it. So yeah, as I said, good for kids who are having trouble confiding in their friends. I think just as a whole, universal. It has nothing to do specifically with one particular thing that a kid is struggling with. In this case, dyslexia. It can be anything. You can go get this. This is out in shops. We've got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code and tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage, and by doing that, you help support our site. So thank you. And speaking of support, I want to thank Second for hooking us up with the review copy, and of course, thank you all for watching. If you are into graphic novels, check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com, or on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.